Hello everybody, this is Raj Chetta and welcome to the Crimson Artist YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving you my updated thoughts on RWBY Volumes 1 through 4, as well as my thoughts on the character shorts for Volume 5, and my thoughts on RWBY Chibi. It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? Season 2. Now, as soon as I'm done talking about that, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an announcement afterward regarding RWBY Volume 5. Okay? So, oftentimes, my thoughts on films would be pretty much exact. Whether if it's a TV show or a movie, it's always going to stay the same. But sometimes it would change, and shows like RWBY will be an example when my opinions tend to change, because not only will my opinion change, but so does the show. The show is constantly evolving, constantly changing, and it's going to basically make me want to do something like this. So I'm going to briefly touch over my thoughts on the first 4 volumes of the show, then give you my thoughts on the character shorts real quickly. So here we go. Volume 1, definitely a hit or miss, but I admire it for how this crazy trend started and how it's still going 5 years later, despite Monty's, It's definitely something that you could just put on and just roast the living shit out of it with your friends. That's basically Volume 1. It's not perfect, clearly not the best, but it's definitely a lot of fun. And Volume 2 is another example of just having a lot of fun. But there's not a whole lot of memorable moments in it other than the food fight and the dance sequence. I can't really go back to talk about Volume 2 that much, but I did enjoy it for the most part. Volume 3, still the best. It's definitely my personal favorite of the bunch until Volume 5 proves otherwise, right? Volume 4, now, 6 to 8 months ago, when I gave my review for this particular volume, I was very optimistic. I gave it a lot of praise, and I think I gave a little too much praise to it. And so I rewatched the entirety of Volume 4 yet again, just to prepare for Volume 5, of course. And yeah, it's not that... Look, Volume 4, it's not bad, okay? It's definitely a necessary season, but it's definitely not that great, okay? The animation was good. Some of the choreography was pretty good. It was okay. The Knuckleavi fight at the end was freaking awesome. The soundtrack has always been a constant staple throughout the entire series. Jeff and Casey Williams knocks it out of the park every time they do so, and given the character short for Volume 5, as well as the first chapter of Volume 5, yes, I did see it. I am a Rooster Teeth First member, but I'll talk about that not right now, in a bit, so hold on. The Volume 4 felt rushed. And before that, I thought that, okay, what's going on with certain characters, Blake and Yang in particular? Weiss is getting a ton of development. Renora has their backstory dealt out with. We got something out of RWBY, finally. Something. Not a whole lot, but it was something. But Blake and Yang, what the hell did they do? I mean, Blake was just acting really, really stupid here and there. Like, really dumb. What the hell are you doing, Blake? I love you, but what the fuck? And Yang is my favorite character of the bunch. Honestly. She's funny, she's badass, and she's not the typical blonde bullshit where like she's just dumb or whatever. She has a lot of complexity to her, and she had a lot of shit to deal with in Volume 3. She was framed for breaking Mercury's leg when Mercury has robotic legs. She lost an arm and her best friend ran out. She ran away like a scaredy cat. What did they do in Volume 4? They showed very little of her trauma, a few scenes of her training, and then getting ready to leave. Really? That's it? And that was like if you round up all the scenes Yang was in for Volume 4, you get 30 minutes of Yang in Volume 4. Everybody else has more. What gives? And like I said, Yang is my personal favorite character. And the lack of development and character that I got from Yang was just disappointing. And I know why now. Because they were rushing the hell out of this volume. Because volumes 2, 3, and 4 were all 12 episodes each. And that really puzzles me because volume 3 is still my favorite. And that had 12 episodes. And that had a lot to deal with, right? What happened in volume 4, man? Thankfully, from what I'm hearing, is that volume 5 will be 23 minutes per episode, and that this season will have 14 instead of 12. That should solve the rushing issue, because they clearly have a lot to tell us in terms of the story. So yeah, those are my essential thoughts on volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I had to rate them right now, my official grade for volume 1 is definitely a B-. Volume 2, a B. Volume 3, an A. And volume 4, a B. So there you have it. My updated thoughts on RWBY volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now on to RWBY Chibi Season 2. I liked Season 1. But looking back, comparing Seasons 2 to 1, Season 2 triumphs Season 1 in terms of the animation quality. Holy crap. I love the style of animation they're doing that they did for Chibi Season 2. It looks more fluid, the shading, the lighting, the character models look professionally done. Season 1 just looked like abstract flash animation comparing it to Season 2. That and the humor, Chibi is just meant to be a kid-friendly, something like Nick Jr., where it's just like kid-friendly and whatnot. You can just have a blast and laugh your ass off at the cringy / non-cringy jokes that they have to offer. Definitely a fun season. Really, really enjoyed it. If you're not a fan, then don't bother. It's not for you. But I enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think most RWBY fans would get a kick out of it, honestly. But now on to the character shorts for Weiss, Blake, and Yang. Weiss was basically... They're all flashback shorts, basically, showcasing more backstory to their own character. Weiss shows how she trained under Winter before Winter left and Weiss headed out to Beacon, and that was cool. I love the choreography. I love seeing the characters back in their original outfits in the Maya software. That is cool. But Weiss and Yang had better character shorts than Blake. Now, I know that they said that the character shorts are not always going to be action heavy, right? But when I think of a character short with their names on it, I will think of nothing but them, because it's focusing on them. It's going to probably showcase some backstory or some insight as to what their character is probably going to be or do in the future volume. But Weiss, we clearly see that she is trying to get back to Winter. We kind of see what she is trying to strive for Volume 5. Yang is trying to fight the struggle to take care of her own sister as well as finding her own mother. That's basically what Yang has been trying to do, but it shows that the struggle is now more intense than ever now. Blake? Let's talk about Ilya. Yeah, Ilya, she's a cool character. She's part chameleon. Let's talk about her. Yeah. Who's Blake again? You know, the bee in RWBY? Look, the character short, like the short itself is fine. Choreography, animation, voice acting, all fine, right? But it wasn't about Blake. It's Ilya. It's Ilya's backstory showcasing in a Blake character short. This is something that should have happened in the actual volume, you know? If that actually happened during the volume itself, then I'm like, okay, I'll let them slide. But a Blake character short? I was expecting something along the lines of Blake and Adam. You know, long before the train sequence and with the black trailer. Long before that. I wanted to see what these two were like that are not on the job, you know? Not on a mission. They're just like how these two reacted to one another. If they're going to do a character short that is not entirely focused on action, that is something I honestly would have loved to see. Because not only will we get more on Blake as a character back then, but we also get to see how Adam, like in Volume 3, she stated that Adam was this guy that used to be something that Blake admired, right? But then, of course, things changed for the worse. That honestly would have been a much better character short than the Ilya character short. With that said, yeah, Yang and Weiss had better character shorts. They showed what they are, what they're doing, what they're gonna do in Volume 5. And it's gonna be awesome to see what they're gonna do. But Blake, I need more convincing that they have gotten her character right once again. Because remember, in Volumes 2 and 3, well, towards the end, of course, she was progressing quite nicely until Volume 4 started. And I need to see better on her part now. So, there you have it. My updated thoughts on RWBY's Volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, Season 2 of Chibi, as well as the Volume 5 character shorts. Now, what does this mean for Volume 5 itself? Okay? I'm posting this today as to alert you that every Saturday, starting on the 22nd, I will be giving you my official thoughts, a breakdown of each chapter for Volume 5. It's going to be completely spoiler-filled. Okay? So, if you haven't seen Chapter 1 of Volume 5, you can, like, it's already Sunday. yesterday, Volume 5 premiered for Rooster Teeth First members, right? But the chapter itself will be available for non-First members. Meaning, you can sign up at roosterteeth.com and watch the volume for free, right? But it will also be available for the public, YouTube and all that. It'll be available on the following Saturday. So that's why I will be giving you my thoughts on each chapter the following Saturday, starting next on the 22nd of October, basically. Okay? I am not going to do the second episode once episode 2 comes out for RT First members, because that would be considered spoiling a lot of shit for a lot of people. I'm not risking that. If you want to see the episode yourself, either get a First account. It's not hard. It's only it's like $35 for a year or $20 for 6 months. But if you're very hesitant on spending that much money for a Rooster Teeth First, just note you can actually get an account, just not a First membership, of course, and you can just watch any of their content for free, right? Also, the perks of Rooster Teeth First is that not only will you be able to get shit, like you'll be able to experience stuff before everybody else does, but you will be able to experience content that you won't be able to as a non-First member, like say Day 5 or Crunch Time or any of the Rooster Teeth documentaries that they have on the site. You won't be able to, I don't think you will be able to do that for most of the content. And so I'm very grateful to be a First member because of that. I get to watch all this amazing stuff that they have to offer. Camp is the only show that you can actually watch on both Rooster Teeth and YouTube, but stuff like Day 5 and Crunch Time and all that, you're going to need First for that. And it's also very beneficial for you to pick up tickets for RTX, any future RTXs so that are sad. But anyway, get Rooster Teeth First or just sign up for free and you'll be able to witness brand new episodes on the following Tuesdays, not Saturdays. But if you are not convinced over Rooster Teeth, you're going to have to wait on the following Saturdays, unfortunately. But with that said, I'm excited. I actually did see Volume 1. I actually did see Chapter 1 of Volume 5 at the premiere on Thursday, on the 12th of October. It was awesome. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just wait until next Saturday where you'll be able to hear me ramble about Volume 5, Chapter 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe. Let me know if you are just as pumped for Volume 5. This is Raj Chetta from Crimson Artists signing out. Thank you very much.